welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we're going to be, I guess, talking about Power BI's 10-year birthday. This stuff's been popping up in my feed, right? Microsoft, they did that thing that freaked me out where they had that weird, that crazy logo with the green bee in it. And I swear I've never seen before. That thing must have lasted for like a hot minute before they replaced it. um, but so yeah, Power BI is 10 years old now, which is kind of crazy, I guess, a little bit. Um, and everybody's like, oh, celebrate like Warren Dean here and stuff like that. But to me, like decades are, I can almost, I've been in IT professionals consulting and that for about 30 years, and I can split it pretty much into decades, right? So I came out of college in 1994, and the first thing I was doing was Lotus Notes consulting. Swear to God, Lotus Notes, which quickly transitioned to MS Mail, which then quickly then transitioned to Microsoft Exchange. And so then for the next 10 years, I was known as kind of like the Microsoft Exchange guy, right? If people that knew me as the Exchange guy. And so that's what I did, right? And I primarily, went all over the country, getting people migrated to Microsoft Exchange. That was really my real specialty was because migration, right? I had that stuff wrapped up tight. And but then like okay, so then once most everybody that I knew was on Exchange or they were sticking with whatever email system they wanted to stick with, right? That kind of consulting business became less and less. It was all old hat to me. It wasn't as exciting anymore, right? It was just oh yeah, another Microsoft Exchange migration, da da da, get it all set up and architected and rolled out and everything. It just became kind of boring after a while. So I pivoted, right? I pivoted to SharePoint primarily, right? For roughly the next decade, right? I did the web systems and SharePoint. I did other things like SQL Server here and there, and System Center here and there, and Forefront Identity Manager here and there. But primarily, the next decade was SharePoint. And then that got kind of old, right? After doing it for a decade, it got really sort of old and kind of tiresome, and it was like, meh, and yeah, it's time to find something new, right? So I did. So right. So in the last decade till now has primarily been dominated by Dynamics 365, particularly finance and operations, but also the other business applications from Microsoft and all of that. Professionally, that's professionally that is actually my job. Um, my but personally, that this past decade has been dominated by Power BI. Yes, I've done other things and all that sort of thing, but primarily the last decade, and even before that, I mean, I've been working with it since it was Excel Power Pivot, so even more than 10 years, I guess you could say. And so now, this 10-year mark comes up, and I'm like, yeah, is it time to move on, right? Is it time to go find the next thing? Because, has Power BI gotten kind of boring? Yeah, it's gotten kind of boring to be honest. I mean, I don't know. It's become almost more annoying to deal with than anything else, right? Because of just how bad the product team is delivering on that product these days, especially the last 2 years since Fabric and that. It's just been awful. So I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be abandoning Power BI stuff tomorrow, but I don't know. It might be time to move on and do something else, right? Because you think about it, like people talk about dog years, right? And cat years and that sort of thing. Well, what about software years, right? Like what 1 year in the lifespan of a human, like what is that in terms of software? And I kind of think, it's like and it can't be exact, right? Because some software products they live forever, it seems like. But I would put 10 years. I would put a 10-to-1 ratio on it, right? So like Power BI in terms of human years is like 100 years old, right? It's time to put grandpa in a nursing home, right? It's like, oh, okay, doddering old fool, Power BI, your time, you had a good life, and it's time to move on to like, this new stuff that's coming, like AI and things like that. Which again, I mean, 10 years for dealing with a software product, right? By that time, right, the luster's worn off and something else has come out that's cooler, right? So, and I would say the thing that's come out that's cooler, obviously, is AI and MCP and all of that sort of stuff is way cooler than Power BI ever was, probably. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still going to be doing some Power BI content, but it may not be all Power BI content on this channel. It may be quite a bit of AI and Copilot potentially. God, the worst of the AIs. Um, anyway, that's really all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.